All right, guys, we are here to look at what your extended constructed response assignment is for Instructional Cycle 5. And what it is an annotated bibliography revolving around the glass menagerie. So I'm going to read the first paragraph to you because I think it explains what the assignment is. So in this extended constructed response assignment, you will write an annotated bibliography of sources that could theoretically, so not really, but theoretically be used for a persuasive essay. You will not be writing the essay, so I will provide you with a topic, thesis statement, and one article. You will use the play as another source and also find one additional article so that your annotated bibliography will have a total of 3 entries. So an annotated bibliography is just like a works cited page, but with paragraph explanations after each citation. So I'm going to give you one source. You already have a source, the play, The Glass Menagerie, and then you're going to have to go and seek out an additional source, and then you will write a citation for each one of those sources and a paragraph for each one of those sources. The paragraphs, the point of the paragraph is to summarize the ideas that are in the source and also make a connection between the source and your topic or your thesis statement in some way. Because really you would do an annotated bibliography if you were writing kind of a research paper. You would do this before you started your paper. You would do some research. You would write paragraphs about the articles that you find, the sources that you find, to help you narrow down your sources so that you're ready to write your paper. So it's the kind of one of those first step things when writing a research paper. In this document, there's a link to see some examples of annotated bibliography entries. And then I note here that this is a lengthy document with 8 steps. The step number 8 is the step that's going to be graded. But you will learn about annotated bibliographies and understand what you need to do by looking through the 7 steps before you get to step 8. Step 1 is just me providing you with a topic. Normally, if you were doing a research assignment, your teacher might give you a topic and then you would have to come up with a thesis statement based on the topic, or they might just tell you you're doing a research paper. Pick a topic and then narrow that topic into a thesis statement. Since you're not actually writing the essay, I have done that part for you. So your topic is character motivation in the Glass Menagerie. Your thesis statement, the thing that you're going to try to prove with these sources that you're either provided or that you're going to find, or your thesis statement is the characters in The Glass Menagerie by Tennessee Williams are motivated by love and hatred, which is not enough to make any person happy. This is where we get into that persuasive aspect of it, this proving this idea, because there could definitely be another side to this. People could definitely argue that love and hatred are strong motivations and to make people happy. But here we're going to argue that it's not enough. All right, so in step 2, I provide you with an article. This is a live link in your assignment document. You'll click on this. It'll populate the article. You just need to read the article. It's an article that makes connections between characters in The Glass Menagerie and Julius Caesar. It's an interesting read. The third step is to create the citation for the article that I've just given you. And what I do here is I have all these boxes where you can fill in the information, and you'll note that some of it's already filled in for you. Where you see red in this document are the places where you're going to need to fill in some information. So what I have here is kind of a layout of the information, and then step 4 is actually putting it in the correct citation order, pulling that name and the title article or article of the title, etc., and putting it down here in the way that the citation is supposed to look. So again, you're filling in the red pieces. I want you to note one thing here about citations, how they're opposite from a paragraph. With a paragraph, you indent the first line. With a citation, you indent every line after the first line. So that's just a little mini tip about citations there. And then I just have, some other examples of types of journal article citations. Step 5 is actually gathering the information for your annotation paragraph. Okay, so in this step, I've given you some of it. Like I have a question here, what type of source is this? I've given you the answer. You don't even have to answer that one in this particular part. The next part is, what is the main idea? So I've started kind of a couple sentences for you. Where I have red is where you need to fill it in. All right, I said that they were going to be making some connections between the Glass Menagerie and Julius Caesar. So here, it's asking you to have read the article and explain what those similarities and differences are between Laura and Julius Caesar. The next part is wanting asking you, why is the author's main idea interesting or important? All right, and this is where you're going to be pulling quotes. All right, so I've started this one for you so you get an idea of what I'm looking for. So when you find your own article or when you do this for the play itself, you'll have an idea of how to answer this type of question. And then the last part is, how will this be useful? How would this be useful in defending your thesis statement, that one that I provided you with? So this article will prove useful in defending my thesis because how will this help you prove something about character motivation, something about, the characters in the Glass Menagerie either being motivated by love or hatred, or how might this help defend the part about, that not being enough, love and hatred not being enough to motivate somebody to actually be happy, okay? So any piece of that could be how you complete that sentence there. And then the next step is to do all of that again that you just did, but except for your source this time is the Glass Menagerie, the play that you've already had to read. So you're going to put in the citation information into the chart. You're going to fill out the organization of the citation, and then you're going to answer those questions about the Glass Menagerie. And you're going to put them in sentences here because then it'll be really easy to make your annotated bibliography below. Step 7 is to do all of that again, except this time you have to find a source. So in here, I've got a link to a document that can help you make sure that you find good scholarly sources. However, if you use this website, Galileo, you will definitely find scholarly sources. It's a database of good quality sources. It does require a password, and the password is Congress. This is a site that we will use in class and we'll practice with using in class and finding this source for you. Because you might find a variety of different sources, you might want to use EasyBib or another kind of citation generator in order to make your citation for this source that you find. And then again, you're going to answer the questions based on the source and how the source could be useful in defending that thesis statement I provide you with. And then the last part is the graded part. It's putting everything together. So what I did was from above for the first one is I copied and pasted that citation there. If you did it above and you already filled in the author's last name and the author's first name, you'd be copying and pasting your entire citation and you would be done with that part. And the same thing here, I went to each one of those boxes, those questions that you were asked, and I copied and pasted it all here together as a paragraph. If in those boxes above you had completed the sentences and put in a quote, then this would be done. All you're doing is formatting it into the way that an annotated bibliography looks. And note that here you have your citation, and you don't skip a line to go into your paragraph. You just have a space and then you start your paragraph directly after the citation. And so you'll need to do the same thing for your other two sources, for the Glass Menagerie and the one that you find. You'll put in the citation, you'll put in the article, or you'll put in the paragraph. So if you do all of this up here, you'll be copying and pasting down here. If you don't want to do those steps above, you just want to type it into this document, that is fine too. If you have questions or don't know exactly what to do with this assignment, there will be plenty of time spent in live classes going over this assignment, so make sure that you attend those classes.